The ship broke apart in the sky like a fallen star. Pieces of metal and glass rained down on the purple fields of the alien world. One pod, smaller than the rest, fell away from the main crash. It tumbled through the thick air and hit the ground with a thud instead of an explosion. Inside this pod, 12-year-old Jisoo opened her eyes. Blood trickled down her forehead. Her small hands shook as she pressed the button to open the door. It was stuck. She kicked at it once, twice, 3 times before it popped open with a hiss. The air outside smelled strange, like cinnamon and metal. Jisoo climbed out and looked around. The sky was a deep purple color she had never seen before. 2 small moons hung low on the horizon. "Hello," she called out. "Anyone there?" No answer came back, just the sound of wind moving through tall silver grass. Jisoo walked toward the main crash site. She hoped to find her parents, her brother, anyone. But when she reached the smoking ruins of the colony ship, she knew no one could have lived through this. Tears ran down her face, but she did not cry out. She sat down in the silver grass and waited. 3 days later, they found her. The Celestials came in floating ships that made no sound. They looked almost human, but too perfect. Their skin glowed slightly. Their eyes were too large and too bright. "Impossible," said one in a language Jisoo did not understand. No life signs were detected from orbit. "Yet here she is," said another. "A human child. Alive." They took readings with strange devices. They spoke quickly among themselves. They seemed confused by Jisoo. One of them, taller than the rest, approached her. He knelt down to look her in the eyes. "Do you understand me?" he asked in broken human language. Jisoo shook her head. The tall Celestial touched a device on his wrist. A small light jumped from it to Jisoo's temple. Suddenly, she could understand their words. "Can you hear me now, Earth child?" he asked. "Yes," Jisoo said. "Where are my parents?" The tall one looked sad. "I am sorry. You are the only survivor." Jisoo nodded. She had known this already, but hearing it still hurt. "I am Daeho," the tall one said. "What is your name?" "Jisoo." Daeho stood up and turned to the others. "The Empress will want to see this one. A human child surviving in our atmosphere for 3 days, without food or water. It should not be possible." One of the female Celestials frowned. "Daeho, you have fallen far from the Empress's favor. Why should you be the one to bring this human to her?" Daeho's face hardened. "Because I found her first, Yi-Jin, and because I have nothing left to lose." The ship that took Jisoo to the capital world was beautiful. It moved through space without any feeling of movement. Through the windows, Jisoo watched stars blur into lines of light. Daeho sat across from her. He looked troubled. "Why are you sad?" Jisoo asked him. He seemed surprised by her question. "I am not sad. I am thinking." "About what?" Daeho sighed. "About how taking care of a human child is my punishment." "Punishment for what?" "For speaking truth when lies were wanted." He looked at her more closely. "You ask many questions for one so small." Jisoo shrugged. "My mother said I was born asking why." For the first time, Daeho's perfect face showed a small smile. "Perhaps that is why you survived when others did not. Curiosity is a powerful force." Jisoo looked out the window again. "Where are we going?" "To Celestia Prime, the heart of our empire. The Empress wishes to meet you." "Is she nice?" Daeho was quiet for a long moment. "The Empress is many things, but nice is not one of them." Jisoo nodded and said nothing more. Inside, she felt afraid, but also something else. Something like the feeling she got before a big test at school. A chance to prove herself. As the ship raced toward the glowing center of the Celestial Empire, Jisoo made a promise to herself. She would survive this too. For her parents. For her brother. For Earth. Daeho watched the small human child with growing interest. There was something about her that seemed older than her years. something in her eyes that reminded him of stars being born. "Little one," he said softly, "I think the Empress may find you more interesting than she expects." Jisoo pressed her face against the window as the ship slowed down. Below them spread a world that looked like it was made of light and crystal. Tall towers reached toward the sky. They shone in colors Jisoo had never seen before. 3 artificial moons hung in perfect triangles above the largest city. "That is Celestia Prime," said Daho, "the heart of our empire." "It's beautiful," whispered Jisoo. Daho nodded. "Yes, but beauty can hide many things." The ship landed on a platform made of some clear material that looked like glass, but felt warm under Jisoo's feet when she stepped out. Guards in flowing silver clothes stood in a line. They did not carry weapons that Jisoo could see, but she felt they were dangerous all the same. "Follow me," Daho said, "and speak only when spoken to." Jisoo walked behind him, trying to match his long steps. The air here smelled clean, too clean. It made her nose itch. As they walked through wide halls with high ceilings, Jisoo saw many Celestials. All of them stopped to stare at her. "They've never seen a human before?" she asked. "They have seen humans in records," said Daho, "but never a live one, and never a child." They came to a pair of doors so tall that Jisoo had to tilt her head all the way back to see the top. The doors opened without a sound. Inside was a round room with a floor that seemed to be made of flowing water. In the center, on a chair that floated in the air, sat a woman. At least she looked somewhat like a woman. Her skin glowed with a soft light. Her hair moved as if it was underwater. Her eyes were the color of the space between stars. "Empress Sunma," Daho said, bowing low. "I have brought the human child as ordered." The Empress looked at Jisoo for a long time without speaking. Jisoo looked back, trying not to show her fear. "Approach, Earth Child," the Empress finally said. Her voice sounded like many voices speaking together. Jisoo walked forward until she stood at the edge of the water floor. The Empress floated down until she was just above the floor. She was very tall. "You should have died in that crash," the Empress said. "Why didn't you?" Jisoo wasn't sure how to answer. "I don't know. I just didn't." The Empress smiled. It was a strange smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Simple answer, but I think not a simple child." She turned to Daho. "You will be her guardian. Teach her our ways. I wish to observe her growth." Daho bowed again, but Jisoo saw his hands tighten into fists. "As you command, Empress. Can I go home?" Jisoo asked suddenly. Everyone in the room went very still. No one spoke to the Empress without permission. The Empress turned back to Jisoo. "Home. Your ship is destroyed. Your people are dead. I mean Earth. Can I go back to Earth?" For a moment, the Empress's perfect face showed surprise. Then she laughed. It sounded like breaking glass. "Earth is very far away, little one. And what would you do there? You have no family left." Jisoo felt tears in her eyes, but did not let them fall. "I still have a home world." The Empress floated closer. She reached out one long finger and touched Jisoo's cheek. "Interesting. You have fear, but you speak anyway." She pulled back. "No, you will not go to Earth. You will stay here as my pet project." Several other Celestials stood near the Empress. One of them, a man with a face that looked carved from stone, stepped forward. "Empress, this is not wise. Humans are unpredictable, dangerous." "Silence, Hawan," the Empress said. "Did I ask for your opinion?" The man named Hawan stepped back, his face tight with anger. Jisoo looked around the room. Most of the Celestials seemed afraid of the Empress. But she also saw something else in their eyes when they thought no one was looking. They were afraid of something else too. Something worse. Later, as Daho led her to a room that would be hers, Jisoo asked, "Why does everyone seem scared?" Daho looked down at her with surprise. "You noticed that?" Jisoo nodded. Daho was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Even gods can fear, little one. Remember that." Jisoo thought about this as she looked out her window at the perfect city. Beyond it, she could see stars. One of them, very far away, was the sun that shined on Earth. She wondered if she would ever see it up close again. 6 months had passed since Jisoo arrived on Celestia Prime. She learned the language quickly. She studied the history of the Celestial Empire from books that showed moving pictures. And every week, doctors ran tests on her. They took her blood. They scanned her brain. They watched how fast she healed when she cut her finger. "Why do they keep testing me?" Jisoo asked Daho one day as they walked through the crystal gardens. Daho looked around to make sure no one was listening. "They are trying to understand why you are different." "Different how?" "Humans are not supposed to be strong, but you survived what should have killed you. You learned faster than any human in our records. The Empress wants to know why." Jisoo thought about this. She didn't feel special. She just felt alone. On Earth, in a room deep under the ground, 5 people sat around a round table. Maps and screens covered the walls. On the biggest screen was a picture of Jisoo from her school days on Earth. "We've confirmed it," said a woman in a uniform with many medals. "One survivor from Colony Ship 7, a child named Jisoo Kim, age 12. Commander Ta-won, head of the United Earth Defense Force, stood up. He was tall for a Korean man, with a scar across his right cheek. And the Celestials have her." "Yes, sir. Our spy probe tracked the rescue ship to Celestia Prime." Taiwan looked at the picture of Jisoo. "We're going to get her back." A man in a suit shook his head. "The Celestials are too advanced. We can't fight them." Taiwan smiled. It was not a nice smile. "Who said anything about fighting? We'll ask nicely first." He turned to a woman with short black hair. "Jin-A, prepare your team. We're sending a delegation." Jin-A nodded. She was the best Special Forces soldier on Earth. "My wolves are ready, Commander." "Good. The Celestials think we're still primitive. That we're no threat." Taiwan touched a button, and the screen showed a new image, an Earth ship unlike any built before. "They have no idea what we've been building since first contact." Back on Celestia Prime, Jisoo sat in the Great Library, reading about the stars. Daho was teaching her about the different worlds in the Empire when an alarm sounded. It was a soft sound, like singing, but it made all the Celestials freeze. "What is it?" Jisoo asked. Daho's face was pale. "A ship has entered our space without permission." Guards rushed into the library. One of them spoke to Daho in the old Celestial language that Jisoo was still learning. "What did he say?" she asked when the guard left. "He said it's an Earth ship. Your people have come." Jisoo's heart beat faster. "They came for me." Before Daho could answer, the library doors opened again. The Empress floated in, her face dark with anger. "The humans dare to enter our space without permission," she said. "They demand to speak with us about returning the child." "Will you let me go?" Jisoo asked, hope filling her voice. The Empress looked at her with cold eyes. "You belong to me now, little one. I am not finished studying you." Daho stepped forward. "Empress, refusing to meet with them could cause problems." "Problems? What problems could these primitives cause us?" The Empress laughed. "Their ships are toys compared to ours." "Even so," Daho said carefully, "diplomatic talks might be wise." The Empress waved her hand. "Fine. I will allow their delegation to land, but only to show them how insignificant they are." She turned to Jisoo. "You will attend this meeting. You will tell your people you wish to stay here." After the Empress left, Jisoo looked up at Daho. "She can't make me lie." Daho knelt down beside her. "Listen carefully, Jisoo. The Empress never makes empty threats. If you defy her, she will hurt your people. But wait and watch," Daho whispered. "Sometimes the river must flow around the mountain. Not through it. Jisoo didn't fully understand, but she nodded. As she looked out the window at the stars, she wondered what would happen when Earth met the Celestial Empire. And she wondered if the Earth people coming were strong enough to stand against a goddess who thought herself all-powerful. The Earth ship landed on the same clear platform where Jisoo had arrived 6 months ago. This ship was different from her colony ship. It was sleek and dark, with marks that glowed blue along its sides. Jisoo stood with Daho and the Empress as the ship's door opened. 5 humans walked out, 3 men and 2 women. They wore simple gray uniforms with the Earth symbol on their shoulders. The man in front had to be Commander Tawon. He had a scar on his face that made him look fierce, but his eyes were kind when they found Jisoo. "Welcome to Celestia Prime," the Empress said through a translator, "though you came without proper invitation." Taiwan bowed slightly. "Thank you for allowing us to land. Empress, we come in peace to discuss the return of our citizen, Jisoo Kim." The Empress smiled her cold smile. "The child is happy here. Aren't you, little one?" All eyes turned to Jisoo. She remembered Daho's warning about defying the Empress, but she also saw hope in Taiwan's eyes. I am treated well," Jisoo said carefully. It wasn't a lie, but it wasn't what the Empress wanted either. One of the women from Earth stepped forward. She had short black hair and moved like a cat. "We would like to speak with Jisoo alone." "That will not happen," the Empress said. "The child remains under my protection." "Protection?" the woman asked. "Or study?" The Empress's eyes flashed with anger. "You dare question me, human? I am Sunmei, Empress of 1,000 worlds. You are nothing." Taiwan stepped between them. "We mean no disrespect, Empress. But on Earth, children have rights. We want to ensure Jisoo's welfare." Before the Empress could answer, a loud alarm sounded. Not the soft one from before, but a harsh, scary sound. All the Celestials looked up at the sky with fear on their faces. "What is it?" Taiwan asked. "Void harvesters," Daho whispered. "They're here." The sky turned dark. Not like night, but like all the light was being eaten. A ship appeared above the city. It was huge and black and shaped like a jagged star. Where it passed, plants died, and the crystal towers dimmed. "Get inside," the Empress shouted. For the first time, she sounded afraid. Everyone ran back to the palace. Guards led them to a room deep under the ground. Through a window in the ceiling, they could see the black ship moving over the city. "What are those things?" Taiwan asked. The Empress looked at him for a long moment. Then she seemed to make a decision. "They are why your child is so important to us," she said. "The void harvesters consume life. They have been our enemy for 10,000 years. We are losing this war." "What does this have to do with Jisoo?" asked the woman with short hair. "Jinne," Taiwan warned, but the Empress raised her hand. "No, it is a fair question." The Empress looked at Jisoo. "This child survived when she should have died. Humans adapt. Humans fight. We Celestials have evolved past that. We became too perfect, too unchanging. You need our help," Taiwan said, understanding in his eyes. "I would never say such a thing," the Empress said proudly. But her eyes told a different story. Jisoo walked to the window and looked up at the terrible ship. "They eat life." Daho nodded. "They drain the life force from planets. Turn them to dust. They've destroyed hundreds of our worlds. And they'll come to Earth next," Jisoo said. It wasn't a question. "Yes," the Empress admitted. "They follow us. Earth is already on their path." Taiwan looked at his team. They seemed to have a silent conversation. Then he turned back to the Empress. "We might be willing to help each other," he said. "But first, you must be honest with us. About everything." The Empress floated down until she stood on the floor like a normal person. It was the first time Jisoo had seen her do this. "Very well," she said, "but you will not like what I have to tell you." Above them, The Void Harvester ship continued its slow path across the city, leaving darkness in its wake. 3 days had passed since the Void Harvester ship left Celestia Prime. It had only passed over the city, as if checking what was there, before moving on. But it left fear behind. Jisoo sat in a large room with the Earth delegation and several Celestials. The Empress floated at one end of the table. Taiwan sat at the other. They had been talking for hours. "Let me understand," Taiwan said. "You've been fighting these Void Harvesters for 10,000 years, and you're losing." "We were not always losing," the Empress said. Her voice was tired. "Once, we fought them to a standstill, but with each battle they learn. They adapt. We do not." "Because you've evolved away from change," said Jin'e. The Empress nodded. "We sought perfection. We found it. But perfection is also an end. We cannot become anything else now." Jisoo, who was now 14 after her time on Celestia Prime, looked at Daeho. "Is that why you keep studying me? Because I can still change?" "Yes," Daeho said. "Humans adapt faster than any species we've encountered. You change your bodies, your minds, your societies, all within a single lifetime." Taiwan leaned forward. "We're willing to help fight these Void Harvesters. They're a threat to Earth too, but we have conditions." "You are in no position to make demands," said Hawon, the Empress's advisor. "Aren't we?" Taiwan asked calmly. "You need what we have. The ability to think in new ways, to change tactics, to surprise an enemy that knows all your moves." The Empress raised her hand, silencing Hawon. "What are your conditions, human?" "First, Jisoo comes with us when we leave. She returns to Earth." Jisoo felt her heart jump. Going home. But then she looked at Daeho and felt strangely sad. "Second, you share your technology with us. We need better ships, better weapons if we're going to help you fight." The Empress's eyes narrowed. "And third, we work together as equals, not as gods and primitives, as allies." The room went quiet. Such a demand had never been made of the Celestials before. "Impossible," Hawon said. "We cannot lower ourselves." "Enough," the Empress said. She looked at Jisoo for a long moment. "The child may return to Earth, but I want her to visit Celestia Prime regularly for continued study." "And the rest?" Taiwan asked. "We will share some technology. Not all. And as for being equals," the Empress almost smiled, "we shall see if you earn that." It wasn't everything, but it was a start. Jisoo felt relief wash over her. Later, as everyone prepared to leave, Daeho came to Jisoo's room. "Are you happy to be going home?" he asked. Jisoo nodded. "Yes. But what?" "I'll miss you," she said. Daeho looked surprised. Then his perfect face softened. "I have asked the Empress for permission to go with you, as an ambassador to Earth." Jisoo's eyes widened. She said yes. She did. "I think she trusts me to watch over her favorite subject." He knelt down to look Jisoo in the eyes. "And I have grown fond of you, little one." Jisoo hugged him. At first, Daeho seemed shocked by the human gesture. Then, slowly, he hugged her back. On the day they left, Taiwan and Jin'e stood with Jisoo and Daeho as they boarded the Earth ship. 4 other Celestials joined them, scientists who wanted to study humans up close. "This is the beginning of something new," Taiwan said. "Humans and Celestials working together." Jin'e looked less sure. "If they can stop seeing us as lesser beings." "They will," Jisoo said confidently. "They have to. The Void Harvesters don't care who's perfect and who's not. They just consume everything." As the ship rose from Celestia Prime, Jisoo looked out at the Crystal City. It was beautiful, but cold. Earth would be messy and loud and full of life. She couldn't wait. "We're forming a pack," Daeho said quietly, trying out the Earth word. "Celestials and humans together." Jisoo smiled. Yes, and the Void Harvesters won't know what hit them. 6 months after returning to Earth, Jisoo stood in a large room filled with screens and maps. Earth had changed while she was gone. Now, giant ships filled the skies. New weapons and shields based on celestial technology were being built every day. Jisoo had changed too. She was taller now. Her dark hair was longer. And she understood things about the universe that few humans did. Daho stood beside her, watching the screens. He wore Earth clothes now. Simple pants and a shirt instead of the flowing robes of the Celestials. He looked almost human, except for the soft glow of his skin. Another colony world is under attack, Taiwan said, pointing to a red dot on the star map. The Void Harvesters hit Outpost 7 yesterday. The Empress has asked for our help, Jin-A said. She looked at Jisoo. She asked for you by name. Jisoo wasn't surprised. The Empress still saw her as special. Will we go? Taiwan nodded. 10 ships. Our best fighters. And you and Daho to help us work with the Celestial Fleet. The journey to Outpost 7 took 3 days, even with the new engines. Jisoo spent the time preparing. She studied the Void Harvesters, learning everything the Celestials knew about them. It wasn't much. They come from the spaces between galaxies, Daho told her. They don't communicate. They don't negotiate. They just consume. When they arrived, Jisoo's heart sank. Half the planet was already dark. The blue oceans had turned black. The green land was gray. The Celestial Fleet was there, 30 ships in perfect formation. They fired weapons of light at the 5 Void Harvester ships, but the black ships just absorbed the attacks. They've seen these tactics before, Daho said. The Celestials never changed their approach. Taiwan turned to Jisoo. What do you think? You understand both sides now. Jisoo looked at the battle. The Celestials were fighting like they always did, with perfect form, and no surprises. The Void Harvesters knew exactly what was coming. We need to be unpredictable, she said. Do what they don't expect. Jin-A smiled. It was a wolf's smile, all teeth. That's what humans do best. Taiwan gave the order. The Earth ships broke formation. Instead of attacking in a line, they scattered. Some went high. Some went low. They fired weapons that weren't perfect beams of light, but messy bursts of energy. The Void Harvesters hesitated. This was new. It's working, Jisoo said. 2 Earth ships flew directly at a Void Harvester, then split apart at the last second. Their weapons fire crossed and hit the black ship from an angle it didn't expect. The Void Harvester's shell cracked. The Empress's voice came through the comm. What are you doing? You're breaking formation. We're being human, Taiwan replied. Follow our lead or stay out of the way. There was a long pause. Then, very well. Show us. The Celestial ships began to copy the Earth tactics. Not perfectly. They couldn't be truly random, but enough to confuse the enemy. 3 Void Harvesters retreated. 1 was destroyed. The last one fought until the end before exploding in a burst of dark energy. Later, on the Empress's ship, Jisoo stood with Daho, Taiwan, and Jin-A as they looked at the planet below. Half saved, half lost. Your tactics were effective, the Empress admitted. She looked at Jisoo. You see both worlds now, don't you? Human and celestial. Jisoo nodded. I do. And which do you prefer? Jisoo thought about it. Both have strengths, both have weaknesses. Together, we're stronger. The Empress almost smiled. Perhaps. She turned to Taiwan. Your pack of Earth wolves fought well today. But this was one battle. The war is far from over. We'll be ready, Taiwan said. As they returned to their ship, Daho walked beside Jisoo. You were right, he said, about humans and celestials being stronger together. Jisoo looked up at him. Do you think the Empress will ever truly see humans as equals? Daho was quiet for a moment. She saw something today that she has not seen in 1,000 years. What's that? Hope. A year passed. The alliance between Earth and the Celestial Empire grew stronger with each battle. Jisoo, now 15, divided her time between both worlds. On Earth, she went to school and lived with a new family. On Celestia Prime, she worked with the scientists who still studied her blood and brain patterns. Today, she sat in a large lab while a celestial named Minat examined a screen filled with strange patterns. "I don't understand," Mina said, her voice confused. "It can't be right." "What can't be right?" Jisoo asked. Mina called Daho over. He looked at the screen and his eyes widened. "Are you certain?" he asked Mina. "I've run the tests 3 times, she said. "These patterns here and here." She pointed to swirls of light on the screen. "They're celestial." Jisoo stood up. "What do you mean?" Daho turned to her, his face serious. "She means that parts of your genetic code match ours, not human code." Jisoo felt dizzy. "That's not possible. I'm human. My parents were human." "We need to speak with the Empress," Daho said. The Empress listened as Mina explained what she had found. They sat in a small room, not the grand hall where Jisoo had first met her. The Empress seemed different now, less distant, more focused. "Show me," the Empress said. Mina displayed the patterns on a wall screen. "Here is normal human DNA. Here is Jisoo's. And here is celestial. You can see the matching sections." The Empress studied the screen for a long time. Then she said, "Bring me the ancient records." A guard left and returned with a crystal that glowed from within. The Empress placed it on the table, and images appeared in the air above it. 10,000 years ago, when the Void Harvesters first came, we were not as we are now, the Empress said. We were still evolving, still changing. We fought them directly and suffered great losses. The images showed battles between early Celestials and the same black ships they fought today. "A group of our scientists had a theory," the Empress continued. "They believed the Harvesters tracked us by our advanced biology. Our perfection made us visible to them." "What did they do?" Jisoo asked. "They did something forbidden. They reversed their evolution, made themselves simpler, less perfect." The Empress's voice was pained, as if the very idea hurt her. "Then they'd fled, in ships designed to travel far beyond our empire." Daho's eyes widened with understanding. "They went to Earth." The Empress nodded. "We thought them lost or dead. Their ships were primitive, their chances slim. But it seems they survived." Jisoo tried to make sense of what she was hearing. "You're saying that humans came from Celestials?" "Not all humans," Mina said. "The Earth already had its own evolving species, but these devolved Celestials may have mixed with early humans, changed your species' path." Jisoo remembered something she had learned in school. There was a sudden jump in human development around 10,000 years ago. Scientists never fully explained it. "Now we know why," Daho said. He looked at Jisoo with wonder. "And somehow in you, the old patterns are stronger, more visible." "But why me?" Jisoo asked. The Empress looked at her closely. "Perhaps your line kept more of the old code, or perhaps," she hesitated, "perhaps it's awakening because it's needed." "Needed for what?" "To fight the Void Harvesters," Daho said. "To be the bridge between what we were and what we became." Jisoo felt overwhelmed. All her life, she had been just a normal girl. Now she learned she carried the genes of an ancient people who had fled across the stars. "What does this mean for the Alliance?" she asked. "It changes everything," the Empress said. "We are not 2 species working together. We are one species that took different paths. The humans are our lost children, returned when we need them most." Mina looked excited. "This could help our scientists develop new weapons. If we study how the celestial DNA expresses in humans, especially in Jisoo." "No," Jisoo said firmly. Everyone looked at her in surprise. "I'm not just a test subject. I'm a person, and this affects all humans, not just me. We need to tell Earth. The Empress looked like she wanted to object, but Deho spoke first. She's right. This knowledge belongs to both our peoples. After a moment, the Empress nodded. Very well. We will share this discovery with Earth. She looked at Jisoo with new respect. Perhaps there is wisdom in being less than perfect after all. The great hall on Earth was filled with people. Leaders from every nation sat at tables arranged in a circle. In the center stood Jisoo, now 16, with Daho beside her. On one side sat Tadwan and Jinae. On the other floated the Empress, who had come to Earth for the first time. "You're telling us that humans descended from Celestials?" asked the leader of the American forces. His face showed disbelief. "Not exactly," Jisoo explained. "Humans were already evolving on Earth, but some Celestials came here long ago and mixed with early humans. They added to our development." "We have confirmed this through genetic testing," said a human scientist. "The markers are there, especially strong in some bloodlines." Taiwan stood up. "What matters is not where we came from, but what we do now. The Void Harvesters have destroyed 3 more worlds in the past month. They're advancing faster." The room grew quiet. Everyone had seen the videos of planets turning dark, of life being drained away until nothing remained. "Our current strategy is not enough," Jinae said. "We fight, we win some battles, we lose others, but we're not stopping them." "What do you propose?" asked the Empress. Jisoo stepped forward. Over the past months, she had grown more confident. She was not just a bridge between two peoples now. She was a leader. "We need to take the fight to them," she said. "Stop defending and start attacking." "Attack where?" asked the Celestial commander. "They come from the void between galaxies. They have no home world that we know of." "They must have a center," Jisoo said. "A place where they gather, where they take what they consume." "We've never found such a place," the Empress said. "Because you've been looking with celestial eyes," Jisoo replied. "Always the same way, always the same patterns." She turned to Tadwan. "We need to look with human eyes too. Think differently." Daho spoke up. "Jisoo is right. And she has a unique perspective. She sees both ways." The Empress looked at Jisoo for a long moment. "What are you suggesting, child?" "I've been studying the Void Harvester's movements," Jisoo said. She waved her hand, and a map appeared in the air. Red dots showed where the Harvesters had attacked. "There's a pattern, but not a simple one. They move like water flowing around rocks." "Around what rocks?" Jin-8 asked. "Places they avoid," Jisoo said. She pointed to empty spaces on the map. "Here, and here, and here. They never go to these regions, even though there are rich worlds there." A human scientist studied the map. "She's right. I've never noticed that before." "Because you weren't looking for what isn't there," Jisoo said. "What they don't do tells us as much as what they do." "So what's in those regions they avoid?" Taiwan asked. Jisoo smiled. "Not what's in them, but what's between them." She adjusted the map, and the empty spaces formed a pattern. "If you draw lines connecting these spaces, they point here." A spot glowed at the center of the pattern. "There's nothing there," a celestial scientist said. "Just empty space." "Empty in normal space," Jisoo agreed. "But what about other dimensions? The Harvesters don't follow normal physics. They consume energy itself." The room was silent as everyone considered this idea. "You believe their center is there, but hidden from our view?" the Empress asked. Jisoo nodded. "I think if we send ships there, with sensors designed to detect energy loss rather than energy itself, we'll find something." "And then what?" Jin-8 asked. "If we find their center, what do we do?" "We strike at their heart," Jisoo said. Her voice was firm. "Not just defending our worlds anymore, but ending this threat forever." Taiwan looked at her with pride. "It's dangerous. We'd be venturing into unknown territory." Yes, Jisoo agreed. But we'll go together. Humans and Celestials. Using both our strengths. The Empress floated closer to Jisoo. Her perfect face showed something new. Respect. The descendant shows us the way forward, she said. Perhaps this is why our paths diverged and now converge again. Daeho put his hand on Jisoo's shoulder. When do we begin? Jisoo looked around the room, at humans and Celestials alike. We begin now. We prepare our strongest ships, our bravest fighters, and when we're ready, we take the fight to the enemy's heart. One by one, the leaders nodded. A plan was forming, a grand strategy that might save both their peoples, who were, they now knew, one people all along. The combined fleet of human and celestial ships moved slowly through the darkness of space. 50 ships, the best of both worlds, armed with new weapons and shields. At the center was the command ship where Jisoo stood looking out at the stars. 6 months had passed since she had shown them the pattern. 6 months of preparation, of building, of training. Now they approached the empty point in space that Jisoo believed was the center of the Void Harvesters. We're almost there, Daeho said, standing beside her. The sensors are ready. Jisoo nodded. She had changed in these months. Her eyes seemed older than her 16 years. And sometimes, when she was tired or excited, her skin would glow faintly like a celestial's. Taiwan and Jin-A entered the command room. Behind them floated the Empress. All ships report ready, Taiwan said. The fleet is in formation. Are you certain about this, Jisoo? The Empress asked. Her voice had lost some of its coldness over time. No one has ever attempted to enter the Harvester's domain. I'm certain, Jisoo said. I can feel it. They're there. The Empress studied her face. Your celestial gifts are growing stronger. Not just celestial, Jisoo said. Human too. Both sides together make me what I am. The ship slowed as they reached the coordinates Jisoo had identified. To normalize, there was nothing there, just empty space. Activate the special sensors, Taiwan ordered. The screens changed. What had been empty space now showed a swirling darkness, like a hole in reality itself. There it is, Jisoo whispered. The door to their world. How do we enter? Jin-A asked. Jisoo closed her eyes. She had practiced this, reaching for the part of herself that was not quite human, not quite celestial, but something new. Like this, she said. She placed her hands on the control panel. Energy flowed from her into the ship's systems. The ship shuddered. What are you doing? The Empress asked, alarm in her voice. Tuning our existence to their frequency, Jisoo said, her voice trained. So we can pass through. The darkness on the screen seemed to reach out toward them. Then, suddenly, they were through. The ship entered a place that wasn't like normal space. Here, light behaved differently. Stars looked twisted, and ahead of them was a massive structure, if it could be called that. It was more like a living cloud of darkness, pulsing with stolen energy. The heart of the Void Harvesters, Daeho said in awe. The rest of the fleet followed them through. As soon as they entered this strange space, alarms sounded. Void Harvester ships appeared, more than they had ever seen before. They know we're here, Taiwan said. All ships, prepare to attack. The battle was fierce. Human ships darted and dodged in unpredictable patterns. Celestial ships fired perfect beams of energy. The Void Harvesters fought back with terrible weapons that drained shields and engines. From the command deck, Jisoo watched the battle. Something was wrong. Even with all their planning, all their new weapons, they were losing. The Harvesters were too many, too strong in their own domain. We need to retreat, Taiwan said. We can't win this fight. No, Jisoo said. She stood up straight. There's another way. Before anyone could stop her, Jisoo walked to the front of the ship, to the large window that looked out at the battle. She placed her hands on the glass. What are you doing? The Empress asked. What I was born to do, Jisoo answered. Be the bridge. Power flowed from her, through the ship, out into space. Not attacking power, but connecting power. Jisoo reached out with her mind, with the human part that could adapt and change, with the celestial part that could touch the fabric of reality. She touched the void harvesters themselves, and she understood. They're hungry, she said, her voice echoing strangely. They've always been hungry. They don't hate us. They just need to feed. Her body began to glow brighter. Jisoo, stop, Daeho cried. You'll burn yourself out. But Jisoo didn't stop. She pushed further, becoming a bridge not just between human and celestial, but between life and void. There's another way to feed, she whispered. I'll show them. Light shot from her body, connecting to the dark heart of the harvesters. Where the light touched, the darkness changed. Not destroyed, but transformed. Around them, the battle stopped. The void harvester ships hung motionless in space. Then, slowly, the great darkness at the center began to change color. From black to purple to blue to white. Jisoo collapsed. Daeho caught her before she hit the floor. What did you do? The Empress asked in wonder. Jisoo opened her eyes. They glowed with inner light. I showed them how to create energy, not just consume it. How to live without killing. Outside, the transformed harvesters began to pulse with new light. They were still feeding, but now on the energy of empty space itself, not on living worlds. You didn't destroy them, Tadwan said. You changed them. Like humans changed celestials, Jisoo said, her voice weak. Like celestials changed humans. Change is better than destruction. The Empress looked at Jisoo with true awe. You are neither human nor celestial now. You are something new, something more. I'm just Jisoo, she said, smiling. But I found my purpose. As the fleet returned home in triumph, word spread across the galaxy. The void harvesters were no longer a threat, and the little girl who had once survived a crash against all odds had become something legends would speak of for generations to come. The little goddess and her pack of Earthborn wolves had saved not one world, but all worlds.